Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Najiha binti Tipi Harun. My metric number is 139160, and right now I'm going to present about bioaccumulation in the environment for the subject BST 308. So, bioaccumulation definition is an increasing in concentration of a non-biodegradable substance in biological tissue of organisms at a rate faster than which the substance are able to be used by the organism through catabolism and excretion. So, non-biodegradable substance is the substance that cannot be broken down naturally in the environment. It can be pesticide, hydrocarbon, or cyanide. Before we move on, we need to know a few terms that are very closely related with bioaccumulation, which is bioconcentration and biomagnification. Bioconcentration is the accumulation of chemicals in body tissue that exist higher compared to the surroundings, while biomagnification is the chemicals that concentrates even more as it moves along the food chain from low to higher trophic levels, causing the chemicals to become more harmful to top predators. For example, on the picture on the right, we can see that the level of toxin is higher as it moves across the trophic levels, with human is the top predators. As we already know, bioaccumulation and biomagnification cannot be separately explained because in nature, uptake by organisms, bioaccumulation and biomagnification process occur one after another. When an organism ingesting a contaminated food, for example, and they do it several times, the chemicals are stored and concentrated in their tissue because the chemicals are not needed by their body. So, this is bioaccumulation. Then, a predator will feed on the organisms, causing the chemicals concentration magnified, and this process continues until higher trophic levels. Even though it is a bit of confusing between bioaccumulation and biomagnification, there is a difference in the definition of bioaccumulation and biomagnification. Bioaccumulation is the increase of concentration of pollutants in an organisms, and biomagnification is the increase of concentration of pollutants in multiple organisms in a food chain. For example, bioaccumulation only involve an organisms, and the concentration build up only occur in one organisms, and the biomagnification, the concentration of these chemicals build up across a food chain involving a lot of organisms. So, what kind of ecosystem does bioaccumulation occur? Actually, bioaccumulation occur in almost every ecosystem that are contaminated with chemicals, such as the ocean, the rivers, and the peat swamp. The chemicals comes from anthropogenic activities, mostly from agriculture activities, from mining activities, from industries, and from car emissions. The agriculture often use pesticide that has heavy metals such as DDT, which is very harmful to organisms. And the mining activities often let out heavy metals such as cadmium, zinc, lead, chromium, nickel, arsenic, and all of them are very harmful to the organisms such as fish and also human. The industries will often spill oil to the ocean that contains hydrocarbon, and the car emission that we use every day provide us with carbon monoxide that are released to the atmosphere. Not all substances readily accumulate in the body. There are a few exceptions on the substance that can accumulate. For example, only fat-soluble, long half-life, and biologically active substance can be accumulated in an organism's body tissue. Let's take a look at a few examples to understand more about bioaccumulation that are occurring every day in our environment. So one of the most common examples that I can provide is the usage of pesticide that relates to bioaccumulation that are happening to the organisms. So actually pesticides are used to target a specific pest that are destroying the crops. So they are trying to invent something to get rid of this pest. However, the pesticide usage from agriculture are creating runoff that are toxic, running into streams, lakes, and into the ocean, and deteriorate the ecosystems and the organisms inside the ecosystems. And the runoff will go into streams and ocean, and after some time the pesticide will either settle down onto the sediment or are being ingested by bottom dwellers or plankton on the sea surface. And these fishes will eat the plankton, and the continuous feeding of this toxic substance will increase the concentration stored in the organism's tissue, and the feeding on this fish will be detrimental to our health. So this is what bioaccumulation and biomagnification process is about. In conclusion, bioaccumulation can occur in any organisms that are being affected by contaminants in any ecosystems, and but we often specific the process of bioaccumulation with oceanic creatures because most of the contaminants usually concentrated in the ocean. So I think that is all from me. Thank you and have a nice day.